Hello, it's Mr. Brownsmith again, and I'm very excited because I'm back in third grade again. So we're going to be doing a little bit of third grade work. So some of you guys are struggling a little bit with comparing numbers on a number line. So I want to talk about number lines a little bit, and then get into comparing numbers, and then maybe even rounding. So we'll see how much time we get and see how far we are. So the first thing we want to do is take a look at what numbers that we have on the number line. So if we take a look at this number line, we can see we have 300 here and 400 right there. We're going to make sure that as we look at this number line, any number that falls within those number lines has to fall between 400 and 300. So we wouldn't have anything like 250 on this number line, because that would be way down on this end. We're not going to have anything greater than 400 either. So that helps us a little bit and gives us a little clue in figuring out what each of these dash marks is and how much they're going to be. So now we have to figure out is how many dash marks there are between 300 and 400. So we can count those. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it looks like it's going up by tens. So what I tell some of you guys is that what you need to do is try out some stuff. See if it works. See if it goes up by ones. Will it make sense to go up by ones, to go 301, 302, 303, 304, 305? No, it doesn't. We'll never get to 400 that way. So let's try maybe by fives. We have 305, 310, 315, 320, 325, 330, and I can tell I'm never going to get to 400. Well, maybe it goes up by hundreds. Let's check. 300, 400, obviously not. So obviously the next thing we want to try is tens. So how about 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 380, 390, 400. It works. So let's go ahead and write those in. So we'll put down each of these numbers, and we're going to use these because this will be super helpful to fill this in. Okay, so now we've got our number line. We figured out each of these marks here is worth about 10. So we can see 300 all the way to 400. So now what we want to do is figure out where these two numbers fall on our number line. So if we take a look at the first number, 378, right here, let's figure out where this goes. We can see that 378 is probably going to fall somewhere between 370 and 380. And we also know that, oh, guess what? It looks like 378 is going to be even closer to 380 than it is to 370. So it's probably right about here somewhere, because at this point, this would be like 375. Well, 378 is a little bit bigger than that, so it's probably going to be right about here. Okay. Now our next one, 341, we got to figure out where this guy goes. And we can see here 340, 350. Once again, we take a look, and this is probably about 345. Well, 341 is definitely less than 341, so it's going to be somewhere around here. And we know that 340 is marked right here, so guess what? 340 is probably going to be just one tick off from 340, so it's probably going to go right about there. Okay? Now here's the part where we start comparing those numbers. It's really easy. We look at those numbers, and now we can see which one's bigger. The farther the number is on the right, whatever number is farther on the right, that's the greater one. So you can see 378 is the farthest number to the right, so that means 378 is greater than 341. Okay? Pretty easy. The opposite way to think about that is whatever number is on the far, far left, it is going to be the smallest number out of whatever numbers you're comparing. Okay? All right. Now let's talk a little bit about rounding. So one way that we can do rounding is also using a number line. First, we got to figure out our number line like we did. figure out where our numbers line up on that number line, and then go from there. So we know where our 341 goes. It goes right here. And if we're rounding by tens, we have to decide, is it going to be 340? Oops. We have to decide if it's going to be 340 or 350. What's it going to round to? Well, guess what? All we see is that mark here. Well, which way is it closer to? Oh, it's closer to 340 than it is to 340. So 341 rounds to 340 if we're rounding by tens. The same is true with 378. 378 is closer to 380 than it is to 370. So 378 rounds to 380. Okay, so that's a little bit of number lines. Next time we get together, I want to take a look at a more complicated number line here and see if we can compare numbers with something like this and also round. All right, thanks. Bye.